Welcome back to Couch Potato Radio. Derek Hanson with you here on the Mighty 790 and 104.7 KFGO. It's Wednesday. It means it's Hump Day with the Herd. It's our pleasure to have with us linebacker Logan Kopp. Thanks so much for being with us. Congratulations on a great game on Saturday. And it's kind of now we're back into some normalcy, right? Back home and getting into a non-conference play, at least at the Fargo Dome.
Yeah, I mean, playing at US Bank was super exciting. But, we're going to be just as excited to get back in the Fargo Dome. It's been a while since we've been here, so we're excited to be back in the Dome and ready for Bison Nation to get loud.
What was that experience like? I mean, it's a huge place. I've been there many times, obviously. And have you ever played anything like that before, that size of a building?
No, I've never even been to the stadium before, and so that was, just walking into the stadium for the first time was crazy. It was huge, it was beautiful, and really just got to sink it all in before the game. It was really cool, and then the atmosphere was good. I think we had 22,000 fans, so that was awesome to be a part of that. Yeah, it was truly a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and I'm glad we were able to do that.
You're from Missouri area, right? So I suppose, the Rams moved out of there. Have you ever been in that place? How would you compare it? Have you been to Arrowhead, too, just down the road there?
Yeah, I went to some Rams games growing up, but yeah, like you said, they left, and since then I really hadn't been to any NFL games, so this was honestly probably the first NFL stadium I've been in a while, and if I were to guess it, I wouldn't think I'd be playing in one. I figured I'd be watching a game, but yeah, super cool to be in an NFL stadium again and actually be playing in one.
Being from that area, just talk about, there has been a pretty good pipeline, that whole, both sides of Missouri up here to NDSU, and I guess they're recruiting that state pretty hard here, aren't they?
Yeah, we have a couple guys, myself and Reggie King from my class. I know we got Eli Ozick, a specialist from Missouri this year, and Javier Derry, he's from Missouri, KC area. And so, yeah, we've had quite a few good players coming from there in the past few years, and it looks like they're going to continue looking at Missouri for potential recruits.
Yeah, and it's kind of cool. I'm guessing that's Friday Night Lights is as big there as anywhere else, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, it is. High school is a lot of fun. We always had good fan bases. It was pretty electric on Fridays. Not quite like the Fargo Dome on Saturdays, but no, they were fun in high school, yeah.
And what brought you? Did just the atmosphere, what you saw? Talk about your recruiting visits up here to Fargo.
Yeah, well, my recruiting process was a little different.
Well, pandemic, yeah.
Pandemic came, so I didn't get that official visit like most guys get at a couple different schools. So I kind of had a blind eye coming into it. It was a lot of phone calls, Zoom calls with coaches. I wasn't able to really come up to Fargo and visit the campus. But throughout the process, the coaches were, reaching out to me on a daily basis, kind of making me already feel like home before I was here. And that just played a big role. They kind of stuck out between all the other schools, and obviously the culture and the tradition that comes with it was just a good added bonus. Maybe
it was good that you didn't come out here knowing that winter can last a Cinco de Mayo sometimes.
Yeah, the first winter kind of caught me by surprise. A little rough. I'll be entering, I guess, my third winter here in Fargo now. It's next couple months. Not looking forward to it, but I can say I know what to expect this time. So hopefully it's not as bad as the first two were.
Well, they're saying it might be an El Nino. Maybe we'll get the real away from the bad temperatures, that is for sure. As you mentioned, getting off that game, you had a really good game going against Eastern Washington, Maine coming in here to the Fargo Dome, and then won't be long, you got conference play. And I know it's very cliche, but you do really have to take each one of these weeks step by step, right?
Yeah, for sure. We got to take one game at a time. We talk about being 1-0 for the week. So last week we went 1-0 against Eastern, and this week we're focused on Maine and only Maine, and we're going to go 1-0 for the week. We're doing everything throughout this week to prepare for them the best we can. We're going to go 1-0 for the week on Saturday, and then after that we're going to worry about next week.
Let me ask you, just you mentioned the tradition, whatever, and one thing I've noticed over the years of talking to Bison football players, either on Tuesdays or Wednesdays, just the fact that the tradition, the upperclassmen, and how that just filters down. It doesn't matter who the coach is, coach after coach comes in, and they're able to just kind of carry that on. I would say this going all the way back to the 80s with it. I'm sure you see the pictures on the walls around here too.
Yeah, this program is built on the guys who have been here before us and the guys that will come after us. And older veteran players do a great job of just kind of pouring into the young guys and making them feel like home when they first get here, teaching them what it's like here, what the standard's like, what the tradition is like, and the coaches as well. We have coaches who have been here for over a decade now. Coach Gazer, Coach Hedberg, Coach Entz has been here for a while now, and same thing with them. When we bring in new coaches, the older veteran coaches are pouring into those new coaches, kind of showing them what it's like around here. Like this place, it's different. It's not like any other school that these other players or coaches have been to before. And so as early as new players and new coaches can kind of buy into the tradition, to the program here, that's what makes us successful here.
Sophomore linebacker for NDSU, Logan Kopp with us. And you mentioned kind of that too. I think when it comes to the tradition of good defense, that goes back a long, long ways. You can think about all the great players over the years. I'm sure that's kind of, that too, right? Guys who played in the NFL too.
Yeah, I mean, Grant Olson, my linebacker coach, is just phenomenal linebacker here, and so he kind of went through it, and so he is very relatable to us. He's a great coach, able to kind of understand, knows the defense really well, and then just thinking about the past 10 years, we've had some really, really good NFL players come through, and just studying the film with them, being able to see them come back and talk to us and teach us everything and know the experience that they had. It's really good to have those guys to come back and just to learn from them, know what it takes to be successul in this program.
Yeah, I mean, there's pressure, obviously, with the community, the fans. They expect high things, obviously. I'm sure that kind of comes with some of the alumni, not only the alumni that are coaches, but I'm sure you guys hear from a lot of guys, whether they graduated 10 years ago, maybe even 30, 40 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, we had a practice over fall camp where we had some alumni come. We had guys from the 70s and the 80s who played here and are still willing to come back and watch us practice. And, yeah, they care so much about this program. No matter how long ago they played here, they still care. They still want the standard to be the same it was 30, 40 years ago. They want the tradition, the culture to be the same. And so they come back and they make sure that it is that way still, that we're upholding that tradition. And so that's part of what makes this place so special, is just that once you leave, you come back. You don't just forget about this place. There's guys that are going to come here for the rest of their lives as alumni, and they care so much about this program.
You mentioned it too. There's a lot of guys who graduated last year, but it seems like you guys, after game one, obviously a very good reload type of situation. That's really what they want here with NDSU too, right?
Yeah, I mean, we obviously graduate a lot of good, experienced players every year, and we just kind of have to have that next man up mentality. We're going to have new guys that are going to have to step up every year. I think especially this year on defense, we have a younger defense. We have a lot of guys who haven't gotten a ton of game reps before, and so we definitely have a lot to prove. I think we played decent on Saturday, but I still think we have a lot more in us, and so hopefully each and every week we can get better and better until when we hit playoffs, hopefully we can be playing our best football.
Yeah, Eastern Washington, interesting, because you know what type of offense you're going to get. I mean, they've been kind of spread out, trying to do whatever they can for a long time. What does Maine bring to the table in the little bit of film that you've seen?
Yeah, Maine's quite a bit different. I mean, you saw with Eastern, they were a lot of tempo, spread the offense out, a lot of empty packages. And then we look at Maine, they bring a lot more bigger personnel. They're going to come out with 12, 13 personnel. They're going to try to run the ball. They got a lot of downhill run game. Their read zone is straight downhill. And so definitely going to have to attack it a little different. Our game plan's going to be a little different. But we feel prepared. Obviously, we still have a lot of stuff to figure out these next few days at practice. But the coaches have done a great job with game planning and breaking down the film really well, and I think we're going to be pretty well prepared come Saturday.
How much iron sharpens iron stuff do you get going on? Obviously, the Rams look pretty good, obviously, and that's what you're dealing with because, and NDSU linebackers, your responsibility and your type of defense is pretty large too. Yeah,
I mean, going against our offense all throughout fall camp is huge for both of us. I mean, we're going against one of the best offenses in the country. They're going against one of the best defenses in the country. And so, like you said, iron sharpens iron. And we make ourselves better every single day during practice, and that carries over into the season. Just knowing that some of the best competition we're going to face is ourselves at practice, and going against the best that's how you become the best. And so just taking advantage of
having such a successful and talented offense to go against is huge for us.
It should be a nice, decent, 70-some degree day coming up. And what's it like? I mean, do you players kind of soak it all up when you see all the flags and the trailers and all that coming up here on the west side of the Fargo Dome? That's got to be a lot of fun for you guys.
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, we love the support that Bison Nation brings week in and week out. We wouldn't be who we are without them. They play such a crucial role in this program. And so, yeah, seeing all the support they bring on Saturdays is just awesome. And it really just gets us going for the game, and we love to put on a show for them.
Logan, pleasure to meet you. Good luck on Saturday and rest of the season. Hopefully we'll catch up with you down the road.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
You bet. Logan Kopp again, linebacker for the NDSU Bison, with us here on the Mighty 790 and 104.7 KFGO. This is Couch Potato Radio. Derek Hanson with you, and it is Hump Day with the Herd.